The entire subject of healing is as old as the ages themselves, and has ever been the subject of investigation and experiment. But as to the right use of the healing faculty and forces, the knowledge is in its infancy. Only in this age and generation is it at last possible to impart the laws of magnetic healing, and to indicate the causes of those diseases originating in the three inner bodies, which today devastate the human frame, cause endless suffering and pain, and usher man through the portal which leads to the world of bodiless existence. Only today is man at the point in the evolution of his consciousness where he can begin to realize the power of the subjective worlds, and the new and vast science of psychology is his response to this growing interest. When one enters the realm of healing, one enters a world of much esoteric knowledge and an infinity of conclusions, and one is faced with the formulations of many minds who, through the ages, have sought to heal and to help. The why and the wherefore of disease have been the subject of endless investigations and speculations, and much definite deduction has been made as to the cures of such complaints. There has been also much formulation of methods, of techniques, of formula, of prescription, of varied manipulations, and of theories. All of these serve to fill the mind with many ideas, some correct, some erroneous. And this makes it most difficult for the new ideas to enter and for the student to assimilate the hitherto unknown. Aspirants lose much by refusing to let go of that which the lower mind cherishes. When they do succeed in being entirely open-minded and are ready to accept the new theories and hypotheses, they discover that the old and dearly held truth is not really lost, but only relegated to its rightful place in a larger scheme. All initiates of the ageless wisdom are necessarily healers, though all may not heal the physical body. The reason for this is that all souls that have achieved any measure of true liberation are transmitters of spiritual energy. This automatically affects some aspect of the mechanism which is used by the souls they contact. When we employ the word mechanism in these instructions, we refer to different aspects of the instrument, the body, or form nature through which all souls seek manifestation. We refer, therefore, to the dense physical body, which is the sum total of all the organisms which compose it. The physical body is the response apparatus of the indwelling spiritual man, and serves to put that spiritual entity in rapport with the response apparatus of the planetary logos, the life in which we move, live, and have our being. The etheric body, which has one main objective. This is to vitalize and energize the dense physical body, and thus integrate it into the energy body of the Earth and of the solar system. It is a web of energy streams, of lines of force, and of light. It constitutes part of the vast network of energies which underlies all forms, whether great or small, microcosmic or macrocosmic. Along these lines of energy, the cosmic forces flow, as the blood flows through the veins and arteries. This constant, individual, human, planetary and solar circulation of life forces through the etheric bodies of all forms is the basis of all manifested life and the expression of the essential non-separateness of all life. The astral or desire body, sometimes called the emotional body, is the effect of the interplay of desire and of sentient response upon the self at the center, and the resulting effect in that body is experienced as emotion, and as pain and pleasure, love and hate, and the other pairs of opposites. In these two bodies, the etheric and astral bodies, 90% of the causes of physical disease and troubles are to be found. The mental body, or that much of the chitter-chatter or mind stuff which an individual human unit can use and impress, constitutes the fourth of the series of mechanisms at the disposal of the soul. The mental body is the most subtle of the three personality vehicles. 5% of all modern disease originates in the mind, or the mental states of consciousness. And here, the Tibetan Master wishes to enunciate the truth that the constant reiteration by certain schools of healers that the mind is the cause of all sickness is not as yet a fact. In the future, this may become the case, but not as of now, because the majority of humanity is still very much polarized in its astral nature. At the same time, let it not be forgotten that these three bodies, physical, astral, and mental, constitute one mechanism, the personality. You naturally ask here, what is the general plan which we seek to follow as we instruct you in the laws of healing? Those laws which guide the initiates and must gradually supersede the more physical methods of the present art of healing. You naturally also seek to know what is the special technique which you, as healers, must learn to employ, both regarding yourself and regarding those you seek to heal. We shall endeavor, first of all, to touch upon the causes of disease, for the occult student must ever begin in the world of origins and not in the world of effects. All disease is the result of inhibited soul life, and that is true of all forms in all kingdoms. The art of the healer consists in releasing the soul so that its life can flow through the aggregate of organisms which constitute any particular form. It is interesting to note that the attempt of the scientist to release the energy of the atom is of the same general nature as the work of the esotericist when he endeavors to release the energy of the soul. In this release, the nature of the true art of healing is hidden. Herein lies an occult hint. Two words I give you which embody the requirements of all true healers and towards which you must work. They are magnetism and radiation. A healer must be magnetic above everything else, and he must attract to him the power of his own soul. This involves alignment through individual meditation. Those whom he can help. This involves a decentralized attitude, and those energies, when need arises, which will stimulate the patient to the desired activity. This involves occult knowledge and a trained mind. The healer must also understand how to radiate. for the radiation of the soul will stimulate to activity the soul of the one to be healed, and the healing process will be set in motion. The radiation of his mind will illumine the other mind and polarize the will of the patient. The radiation of his astral body, controlled and selfless, will impose a rhythm upon the agitation of the patient's astral body, and so enable the patient to take right action. While the radiation of the vital body, working through the splenic center, will aid in organizing the patient's force body, and so facilitate the work of healing. Therefore, the healer has the duty of rendering himself effective, and according to what he is, so will be the effect upon the patient. The basic causes of disease. This is the problem which all medical practice down the ages has wrestled. In our present mechanistic age, we have wandered far to the surface of things, and away from the partially true point of view of earlier centuries, which trace diseases back of the evil humors, bred and festering in the inner subjective life of the patient. In the evolution of knowledge on every hand, we are now on the surface of things, and the hour has struck in which knowledge can again re-enter the realm of the subjective and transmute itself into wisdom. All disease is caused by a lack of harmony, a disharmony to be found existing between the form aspect and the life. Disease appears where there is a lack of alignment between these various factors, the soul and the form, the life and its expression, the subjective and the objective realities. From one angle, disease is a process of liberation, and the enemy of that which is static and crystallized. The law of cause and effect, called karma in the East, governs all of this. Karma must be regarded in reality as the effect of causes, deep-seated and hidden in the mind of God. The laws of karma should not be misunderstood to become mistakenly complacent with the suffering of the world. It should be avoided. Karma can be created or mitigated by our own individual efforts. In considering the causes of disease, I find it necessary to speak a word in connection with conditions, external and internal. It will be apparent to the casual thinker that many diseases and many causes of death are due to environmental conditions, for which he or she is in no way responsible. These range all the way from purely external occurrences to hereditary predispositions. They might be listed as follows: accidents, infections, diseases due to malnutrition, and hereditary. These 4 types of disease and causes of death account for much that we see happening around us in people's lives. But they are not to be classed definitely under any of the psychological causes of disease.
Nguyện người nghe tình thức vượt thoát nẻo đau buồn.
All healing is facilitated by the reality that we are one. We are one human family, and we are one with God. The human kingdom is comprised of one oversoul, the soul of humanity, of which we are all individualized aspects. As a spark of the divine, the soul resides on the inner planes. It transcends space and time. When invoked on this level within karmic bounds, all healing can take place. As the Master DK states, all disease is a result of inhibited soul life. When the corresponding energy centers or chakras that relate to the specific disease are used by the healer to send qualified energy to the related and receptive centers of the patient, a healing can take place. Always, the way of the heart is best. The heart knows how to accumulate, send, and facilitate reception of the highest form of energy when radiated on a stream of love and good intention. Never should the individual will be used in this process, except by a master or high initiate. Always thy will, not my will. As the Master DK also states, most disease, some 90%, finds its origin in the etheric or astral body. The etheric body, with its intricate web of energy fields, underlies the glands, organs, and muscular skeletal manifestation of the dense physical body. An aspect of the etheric body, the nadis, most closely reflects and interacts with the nervous system. In general, most diseases find their point of association in either the chakras below the diaphragm or the centers above it. The healer most often then works in one of 2 ways. Either he attracts to the patient's centers the type of energy that will counteract the disease, or he draws to himself the forces that are producing the disease in the patient. The latter can be a more daunting and often dangerous endeavor. The healer may initiate the process with thought and focused visualization. Although energy follows thought, it is not thought that is the healing mechanism. It is the energy magnetically sent or radiated through the aura carried by streams of love that accomplish the miracles of healing. Healing avails itself in many ways for the human race. Nature abounds with natural substances that carry healing properties and frequencies. Whether mineral or plant, gemstone or herb, they vibrate to frequencies that correspond to the healing energies for a wide array of human disease and discomfort. These natural substances, either physical or etheric, such as the homeopathic and other subtle energy medicines, have their own signature or imprint. When administered effectively, they support a broad group of healing modalities and approaches. Acupuncture, as one ancient and widely accepted modality, has demonstrated that there are trigger points or switches with interconnecting energy channels located across the physical body. When blocked or turned off, these points stem the energy flow, or qi, to the corresponding glands, organs, or muscular skeletal frame. When switched on and connected, the diseased area can repair and the whole system is enlivened. Whether it be hands-on healing, radiatory auric healing, magnetic energy streaming, or the transmission of an imprinted substance, it is all conditioned by the deeper love nature of the healer and patient. When the healer not just knows, but experiences the true interconnectedness of all creation, then the heart center is open. Time and space is transcended, and love works its miracles. Through love, the field of collective consciousness ever expands, and matter is spiritualized.